So I would tell students that normally you go to school and you want to understand your course, but it is better for you to, understand very much well about that course, not just to pass that exam. Because when you go out there, you will disgrace yourself. Because all you have done is la cram la po. That's what they call it. Yeah. So I don't subscribe to reading to pass exams. I subscribe to reading to have that knowledge so that you can apply it to any area of your life or anywhere you find yourself.
Okay, so why did you choose the word mediocre?
Yeah, because if I'm going to school and I just want to read to pass, that means that I'm not thinking about the future. I'm thinking about what happens now. I'm not thinking about, okay, after school, what happens to me? How can I apply it? I tell people that there's a difference between wisdom and knowledge.
Okay.
So after gaining the knowledge, what is the wisdom? The application of what you have learned.
Yeah.
So if you have gone to school now and you learned a lot of things, dy, dx, and you get to life and you can apply dy, dx, then why did you go to school? So it is better for you to go to school, because life, even living as a human being is a learning process. So if the more we live, the more we learn, then why should we learn for a short time and say because we want to score 10 over 10 in an exam and say we want to settle down for mediocrity?
Okay, I like the angle you're picking it from. But then we actually have lecturers who would tell you that I want you to write the answer to the questions, the exact words, the way I taught you. So in that situation, what do you expect students to do?
Okay, I'll use myself as an example.
Okay.
What you just said now, I've been through this before.
Okay.
I'm a kind of person who, I like to write. I'm a writer, and I like to read things and interpret in my own words. So there was a certain time one of my lecturers gave me a work to do. Because if you're working on mathematics, you can easily say, okay, this is the process, and give the answer, and the answer is correct and universal. But when it comes to some other courses, you can't do that. So the man asked me, the question he asked was all about, I think, economics. And he was asking about, should you start a business because of profit, or should you start a business because of passion? So when I was trying to answer that question, then I said, okay, the two. Because that was not what he said in class. But as for me, I said, okay, start a business for passion and also think about the profit side of your business. And can you believe what happened? He came to the class the next day because it was just a test. And he said that there's a stupid boy in this class that needs to stand up. And he called me up and he said, why did I write what he did not ask us to write? When everybody scored over 9 over 10. I was the only one who scored the lowest because I was trying to be smart. I was trying to tell him that I know more.
Exactly, because that's the point they make. They say, okay, so you are smarter than your lecturer.
That is how school should be. School is about, learning and interpreting, and to show that you really understand what you have been taught.
And in as much as we even have to watch our use of words, because using the word stupid, it's
that was what he used to me. That was what he used to me as a student. A lot of people have been abused in schools. When you look out for students and they start to tell you their experiences in school, you'll be afraid. Because a lot of things are happening.
And things like this could actually make some people say, thinking of all of this experience.
Did you read about the student that committed suicide because of his project work?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I saw that story.
That was more crazy because I felt that, I like to be sincere. No matter the project work that you work on in school, let me just say this clear, that it ends up in the office. They don't do anything with the project work. So if I had spent like 100,000 naira to do a project work in school and I give it my energy, and I feel so bad when the project work I've done so many things for, I've sacrificed my time, my nights for, ends up on the shelf without any application.
You even hear some teachers say that, okay, you can't go beyond a particular mark.
Yes,
you can't have 10 over 10 in my course. And then that alone could actually discourage you from reading to understand. Because you know that even when you understand and you try to put in your words, they still have a way of making you feel like you can't be smarter than me. So now the next question is, what happens to students whereby lecturers, for instance, for the project thing you mentioned, that at the end of the day, these things would not be useful. So what would you advise, or what can you say about situations like that? Because at times you would want to do projects, and when you remember things like that, it discourages you to put in so much effort in that project.
Yeah. So in that kind of case, I would like to come from an angle, and that angle is that a lot of lecturers, a lot of educators, they do not update themselves. So you can go to school and have MSc and have PhD, but there's something else you have to learn because nobody's an island of knowledge. So because the lecturers and the lecturers do not update themselves, or the educators do not update themselves, that's a reason why when they see something new, they feel like, no, this is not right. So because you said 1 plus 1 is 2, and somebody else says, oh, no, what about 0 plus half plus 1 gives you 2? That person is correct. But because what you have in your mind is 1 plus 1 is always 2, nothing else can change. So that is their mindset. So in that kind of case, sometimes it demotivates students. They feel like, what is the usefulness of doing these things?
Stressing yourself.
Stressing myself when at the end of the day, you just give me some mark and my project work ends on the shelf.
Yes.
So in that kind of case, if the students have the passion for that course, they should give it all it takes. So and as a matter of fact, you should not do a project work and the project work ends on the shelf. After the project work, you have your own copy of the project work. Go ahead and look at how can I apply the project work I've done in school to the world to solve a problem. We go to school to learn so that we can solve a problem. We don't go to school because we want to be rich. No. Yeah, so in that kind of case, I would tell the students that they should be motivated. If you really love that course, what are you waiting for? Why not apply what you have learned in that course to life? Many students, I can say that JAMB and the tertiary institutions are one of the big problems when it comes to stuff like this, because they give students courses that they are not interested. You don't even ask me if I love mathematics before you give me statistics. What if I get there and I fail? Who owns the excuse? Yeah. So in that kind of level, a lot of students will want to read to pass. But there's something I would always say, that something needs to change. Immediately you are given a course you don't love, you need to change your mindset. See a counselor, talk to a counselor. So let somebody counsel you and tell you, you need to have a change of mindset. If only you can have a change of mindset, you will get to understand that course and you outshine every other person. But if sluggishly, you're like, every time you keep remembering, they just gave me this course, this was not my interest, then you will fail.
Okay.
Yeah. So you need a change of mindset before you can go into any course you were given.
Okay. Now, while you were talking, you mentioned JAMB and tertiary institutions being one of the problems. Now, I won't say the problems, because if you look at it, I've seen scenarios where it's not like these students actually made the cut-off mark, but just because they don't want to just tell them, okay, you can't enter school this year, try again later, and they put them in a particular course that they feel, okay, you can, do better in. So I feel that's the case. The cases I have seen, that's what actually happens.
But so, in that kind of case, is it about how well or how far?
How far?
Is it about how well or how far? Is it about me just going back to school, and at the end of the day I'm frustrated, I feel depressed, or going back to school and I enjoy what I'm doing? So we because of time, we are trying to say, okay, whatever comes, just do it. From that question that she asked us, that was a very good question. Yes. And I will tell you that a lot of people out there say that school is a scam. And probably that little boy may have heard that from some people. Okay. Or that little boy may have read some books, if possible, that paints a picture that school is bad. Okay. Meanwhile, school is not bad. It's just that people do not understand the difference between schooling and education. That remains the fact. So that kind of little boy, the best thing to do is, there's something that I have learned from marketing, which can still apply to this case. What is that? Benefits. I would rather subscribe to something when I know the benefits than the features. So if you tell me that, oh, this cup is wide and this and that, I wouldn't buy the cup. But if you tell me that, oh, this cup can, if you put in water in this cup now, for the next 2 hours, it will remain hot. I want to buy that because of the benefits. So if only that boy is being shown, that little boy is being shown the benefits over the other. Just like, okay, you can make a chart for him. Okay. Advantages of reading to pass. Disadvantages of reading to pass. Advantages of reading to understand. Disadvantages, none. Yeah, so if you can do that for that young boy, I think, and you call him out, oh, dictate this and explain to me what you've read, you see that he will start to see the benefits of those things. If somebody cannot see the why of doing something, they feel like, why should I do it? So he needs to understand the why. And how can you show him the why? That is by showing him the benefits. The benefits. And you were talking about people not knowing the difference between schooling and education. Yes. You should educate us on that. Yeah. Schooling ends in the 4 walls of the school. Education is learning, life, beyond the 4 walls of the school. Okay. You can join us tomorrow for another exciting episode of Tea or Coffee.